Hello, this is Dalen75 Games, bringing you news on what's happening with me and my channel. A month and a half ago, something very serious happened to me, so that's why, it's not why I stopped. I was planning on stopping anyways, but there's a bunch of things that, very serious things that have happened since then. And I was planning to make this video about a month and a half ago, but then just within days of me announcing on my Project 1999 EverQuest video, the last one I put out, that I was going to take a break for a few months, that had a very serious health issue. I almost died, actually. I don't know how it happened, but it was an attack of encephalitis. My brain was inflamed, and no one knows how it happened. They assume it was viral. But my vision became all blurry. I just felt something was wrong. I said to my wife, for some reason, I don't know why, I said I might have to go to the hospital. And my vision became blurry about 10 minutes later, and I put my hand in front of me, like my lower half of my vision was basically all blurry. I couldn't even see my hand. It was that blurry when I brought it to a stop right in front of me. And then the rest of my vision went about 20 minutes later, and so we're going to the hospital. No idea what was wrong with me. And then I actually, literally, I lost my ability to speak. And it wasn't like I lost my voice because I'm sick. It has nothing to do with that. No, I could not form words. And I thought I was actually having a stroke. But so they brought me in, and I could force out stroke. I could force that word out. And that was about it. But I mean, it was really serious. My wife was crying on the way to the hospital. The kids started crying as well in the car. So we had no idea what was wrong with me. I don't know. It was really strange. Last thing I remember is taking off my clothes and putting on a gown and getting to bed after I tried to tell them several, I guess, nurses and maybe a doctor too. It's hard to tell who's who sometimes. And what was wrong with me. And I think I've forced out some other words. My memory gets a little blurry then. So I lie down in the bed, I pulled the curtain, I'm in the room by myself. Last thoughts I had was like, how long is this going to take? This is pretty serious what's happening. And then that was it. I woke up 5 days later. They apparently I have no memory of what happened after that. Like when your brain's inflamed, I guess it's like expanding inside, so it's why I started losing functions. Ability to do basic things. And the hospital staff wanted to do testing on me to find out what's wrong with me, and I became combative. I don't know what I did. I may have been punching them, or I have no memory of it. I was just going by what my wife was telling me. And they had to call what's called a code white, which is like I guess a combative patient. So they had to come and try to restrain me, and they put me in a medically induced coma for 5 days. So I woke up in another hospital, which was better suited, a larger hospital, where both my kids were born. We live between like 3 hospitals, so it's I just wanted to go to one that was closer. We didn't know what was wrong. It wasn't a stroke, it was an encephalitis. So eventually they guessed it was encephalitis. They did a few spinal taps on me, and it was a high protein count or something like that, my spinal fluid, which there's a lot of high blood cell count, 19 or something like that as well. So I don't know. That's all the information that they really gathered, and so they believe it's encephalitis, so I'll go on that. The difference between encephalitis and meningitis is that meningitis attacks the netting around the brain, while encephalitis attacks the brain directly, and it's a very serious thing. Like my wife's co-worker at the hospital, she's a nurse, not any of the hospitals that we went to, but she works about an hour away at another hospital. So her co-worker's wife had meningitis just this last weekend, and she went in on Sunday to the hospital, and she died Monday. That's how serious these things are. So they don't know how I got it. Supposedly, I mean, the neurologist said it's extremely rare. I mean, it's not common at all, is what he told me. So yeah, so I mean, that's really nothing. I mean, for me, what really hit me is when I came out of it, I was on 3 different antipsychotics when I woke up. The first 24 hours were really brutal for me. I wasn't seeing anything. Like, I was hallucinating pretty bad between the inflamed brain calming down and the drugs. I wasn't seeing crazy things like dancing leprechauns or something like that, but I was in a really bad state. Everything that was happening was like extremely negative. Imagine being the most paranoid person in the world, and these things are actually coming true, because when you're hallucinating, it's like whatever I was thinking would come true. So, and they were all negative thoughts. At one point, I literally thought I was dead, and it was pretty. When I thought about it a couple weeks later, and the feeling, like your brain is so limited during this time, you can't think, oh, I'm not dead, I mean, look at me. But no, like, you're stuck in that very small reality where you actually believe it, and you feel these emotions. That it's just horrible what I was seeing, and there's dozens of just bizarre things, and they just made me feel like awful. And my voice was, I was talking like an old man for several weeks afterwards, so... I think I'm fully recovered now. I'm not doing this for sympathy, I'm just doing it to say this is why I went cold turkey and stopped on the channel. I do plan to return at some point, but I've just been focusing on things, playing things like Skyrim, which I never completed back in the day, and this dragon was really tough. This modded dragon, I almost died. I did die, actually, right before this. Actually, I think I died twice. It was really tough. I'm on level, what, 6 at the time? But yeah, just doing things. My kids are keeping me busy. My wife has actually been working different jobs, teaching practicum, so she's been actually putting in extra hours. So it's really been, it's been very busy at home. So I'm still not allowed to drive for a few days because of what happened to me. So, but I feel fully recovered, and don't worry about me. I'm going to be back, I assume, some point maybe later this year, and I'll continue what I was doing, finish up the games that I was working on. I really wanted to put out Morrowind, a full Let's Roleplay of Morrowind back in May, but that's... I got delayed, were delayed, and then, yeah. Anyways, that will be coming. I'm not gone for good. I'll return and work on everything that I kind of left on hold. Last I saw that people people I was grouping with, such as Thoom, were probably out-leveled me by now. So I saw, last I saw he was level 45, and that was probably a good over a month after that. That was right before I went. I had my encephalitis attack, so maybe he's level 60 by now. But you guys take care. I'm just taking it easy at home, and I'll be back when I can. Just, yeah. We'll see you guys soon.